Hey y'all, I'm Mandy, and this is Mandy in the Making. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to another Winter Dinners. If you are new here, welcome. I'm so glad that you are here. I do dinner inspiration videos all of the time. So if you feel like you're in a dinner rut and you're needing new ideas, this is the place. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I focus on really affordable and easy recipes. I don't want for you to have to go and search for a specific ingredient. I want it to be something you can find easily at your regular grocery store. So of course, this week is no different. Tonight, we are gonna be having Mexican street tacos. And I'm going to marinate some flank steak. Well, I think I got flat iron steak. We'll talk about that in a second. I'm gonna marinate that for a couple of hours. So it's actually mid-afternoon right now. Let's go ahead and get that in the fridge, and then I'll meet you back here in a little while when we cook it up. Okay, so here's everything that we need for the marinade. And then I've got my flat iron steak. So the recipe calls for skirt steak. I could not find flank steak or skirt steak, but I did find this, and I'm pretty sure this is pretty much the same thing. And good news is it was reduced for a quick sale at my grocery store. So I was able to, instead of having to pay $21.98, pay $14.78 for this. This is almost a pound and a half. Okay, let's get started. So before I make up my marinade, I am gonna go ahead and cut this into about 1/2-inch pieces. With this, you wanna cut against the grain. So you see I cut these pretty thin, and then I'm gonna cut these into about 1/2-inch pieces. So it's really, really small. That way it'll be easy to eat. Okay, these are completely cut up. I'm gonna move them to the side, and we're gonna prep our marinade. Okay, for our marinade, we need 2 tablespoons of low sodium soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of freshly squeezed lime juice. The recipe calls for 1 tablespoon of canola oil, but we're gonna use olive oil instead. 3 cloves of minced garlic, 2 teaspoons of chili powder, 1 teaspoon of ground cumin, and 1 teaspoon of dried oregano. Okay, I'm just gonna whisk all of this together. That smells so good. Now that we have our marinade made, I am putting all of our steak into a freezer bag, like a gallon-sized bag, and we're just gonna pour our marinade over top. Now I'm just gonna kind of massage this around and make sure everything gets a little bit of the marinade on top of it. Okay, this is going in our fridge for at least an hour. In our case, it's probably gonna be closer to 1.5 to 2 hours before we're ready to cook. I'll see you in a bit. Okay, we're gonna get started on some cilantro lime rice. I shared this recipe already in a different video. I will link it here, and I'll link it down in the description box. So if you want the recipe, go check it out. But I love that we put a bay leaf in with the rice while it's cooking, and then I've got all of my different juices already here ready to go. So let's get this on the stove, and then we're gonna make our Mexican street tacos. Okay, so our rice is on the stove, and while it's doing its thing, I went ahead and pulled this out of the fridge. So this is our steak. I just want it to kind of, not necessarily come to room temperature, but not be so cold when we put it in the skillet. So we're just gonna let this hang out for probably 15 to 20 minutes here on the counter, and then we will start cooking our street tacos. So I've got this large skillet over here. I'm gonna heat it to medium-high heat. Oh, I need to turn that one off. Okay, medium-high. We're gonna add a little bit of olive oil to this, and we're gonna wait for it to get really hot before we add our steak in. This is nice and hot. Let's add about a tablespoon. We're gonna add in our steak. So this is just gonna cook for like 5 to 6 minutes, just until you get it to your desired doneness. And you just wanna watch it, wanna turn it, make sure the heat is high enough, and kind of just stir them around every so often. It shouldn't take long.
Taco Tuesday.
Legend.
Yeah. Let's get into these. Well, they look so fresh and good.
They do, don't they? We went with corn tortillas this week.
So right off the bat, you get a pop of the lime and the cilantro, that citrus flavor. It just goes well with the marinated beef. Tremendous flavor. The beef is tender, and
we were worried it was going to be really like rubbery, but it is not. It's very tender.
Did really well there. The onions are nice, just enhances the flavor there, but not too overpowering. I've seen this on the Mexican restaurant menus before, and I'm trying to remember what the name of it is. I want to say it's something like...
is it carne asada?
Maybe.
I'm wanting to say it's carne asada.
Yeah, maybe.
Asada. I never say it right, but you know.
Yeah. But I've had this before, and this is restaurant quality for sure.
Okay.
It's really light and fresh. That's what I love about this meal.
Yeah, it's not heavy.
Right. I mean, even with the rice has really just this kind of rice, this cilantro lime rice is...
It's so bright.
It is so bright.
Yeah. This is light and super fresh. It's very authentic tasting. And Steven said, I'm surprised it doesn't have any cheese in it. And then... What?
No cheese, Gracie. No cheese, little girl. Gracie, what you think about that? Huh? What you think about that, little girl?
Okay, y'all, it is our second meal of the week. Tonight we are having shredded barbecue chicken casserole. I am kind of cheating and I'm using a rotisserie chicken just to make it even easier. We're just gonna throw everything together in a bowl, throw it into a casserole dish, stick it in the oven. It is so simple. And then I'm gonna try doing some potatoes on the side. I'm just gonna kind of make it up as I go. I'll bring you along. Could be a total fail. It might be a success. We're gonna find out. Let's do it. So the recipe calls for a green pepper. We didn't have one, but y'all know we love spicy things, and I had 2 jalapenos left, so that's what we're doing. Okay, so that's all the prep work we're doing. I will tell you, I am almost halving this recipe. I just didn't need it to make quite as much as the regular recipe does. As always, I have the original recipe linked in the description box below. So let's add all of our ingredients into this bowl, and then we'll pour it into a casserole dish. So I've got my shredded chicken. I've also got some black beans that I drained and rinsed. I'm not gonna use all of these black beans, so I'm gonna freeze the other half of them. I've got some frozen corn here. Let's add in our pepper and some barbecue sauce. Toss this all together. Okay, that looks pretty perfect. However, I feel like we need some spices, some seasonings, and I'm feeling some Auntie No-Nos. So here's Auntie No-Nos. If you are looking for this, you can't find it in stores, but you can find it on Amazon or their website. I'll link it below. I'm using a really small casserole dish because I did half this. Let me go grab my spray. You know what I forgot? I need to throw some of these into our mixture. Let's top it with our cheese. Now we're just gonna cover this loosely with some aluminum foil and put it in a 375-degree oven for 25 minutes.
What you making?
Taters.
Tell me about it.
I don't know what I'm making.
Look, I know you got this.
I do have that. I figured I needed to use it up. It was in the pantry, so we're just gonna use it.
Okay.
We're gonna see.
We're gonna see.
Maybe it'll turn out, maybe it won't. Really hoping it does.
I think it'll be all right.
I think it will too.
I mean, it's hard to go wrong with onion and mushroom and potatoes.
And butter.
And butter. Ooh, butter.
Butter makes everything better.
Yeah.
About out of olive oil.
You get some more.
So we're gonna add a pack of this onion mushroom soup. Okay, I'm gonna add a couple of tablespoons of butter to a hot skillet. And now let's just add in our potatoes. And we're just gonna cook these on medium-high for probably 10 to 15 minutes. And just because. Okay, this is going back in the oven for another 10 minutes.
I can tell you right now, it's good because I've already had some.
He already took a bite.
That's really good. A lot of times when you have barbecue stuff, something happens and it just doesn't turn out the way that you want it to. It's either too bland or it's like just way too. This is really good. Very good smoky flavor of the barbecue sauce. The perfect amount of the barbecue sauce in there, the good flavor of that.
Yeah.
Got the antinono seasonings in there that's really, you know, bringing that out. This is really, really, really good. Very tasty. Love the cheese. Love how cheesy it is. That's a nice touch there.
Crunch of the onion in there.
Oh yeah.
So we like. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm so glad. Now try my potatoes.
Man.
Are they good potatoes? I'm so excited right now.
Wow. Lots of flavor on that. It's like a hash brown, you know? It's like a potato hash sort of consistency there with the, I mean, you can see how they've got that sear on them.
Oh yeah.
So all of those flavors are sort of caramelized right there on the potato. Just absolutely tremendous flavor coming out of that.
So we put green onion on top, but you just said cilantro would have been good.
Yeah, cilantro would have been good.
Okay, so the recipe called for cilantro. We have cilantro. I can go get it, babe, but
yeah,
it's fine, but it would have been good.
I can just tell that the cilantro definitely would have enhanced the flavor. I wouldn't put too much on it, just enough for to make a difference, but
all right.
It's fine without it.
Okay, I'm gonna give it a try. Hey, Prissy, what you doing? Gracie Lou. Ain't got nothing. Y'all, this is so tasty. And these two together, perfection. I am so impressed with these. And this is like, it's not dry, but it's not too saucy either. It's perfect. I mean, if you are looking for an easy weeknight meal that you can throw together really quickly, that has a ton of flavor, look no further, y'all. This is it. Do it. So we give this 2 thumbs up. Cole is not here. I'm sure he would love this one. Love it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say Cole gives this 2 thumbs up, just in case you're wondering. So we're cleaning up after dinner. I'm about to put leftovers into this. And I was just talking to Steven and I said, you know what would be really good in this? Crumbled up bacon. Like over the top. So yeah, when I make this one again, and I plan on making this one again, I'm gonna add bacon to it because bacon makes everything taste better. Okay, y'all, it is our 3rd meal of the week, and that means it's Subbie Supper. Today's Subbie Supper comes from someone who I love very, very much, and that would be my mama. If you've been around for a while, you've met my mom before because she's been in a few of my vlog style videos in the very beginning of my channel over 3 years ago. But her name is Fran. This is my mom and my dad, obviously. His name is Mud. Yep, you heard me. That's his nickname. That's what I thought his name was, like the good portion of my childhood. I really thought his name was Mud. So this is Fran and Mud. My mom was a teacher. She taught junior high and then high school. She was in the classroom for 29 years. She taught English and reading. And then she became a school librarian or media specialist, and she did that for 9 years. And now she is happily retired. Both my mom and my dad are happily retired. They've been doing a lot more traveling. They are really enjoying their retirement years. Now this recipe from my mom came recently. She found this recipe recently and they have fallen in love with it. They've had it numerous times and she keeps saying, Mandy, you have to make this. She did not request to be a Subbie Supper. I was just wanting to make it. I figured you guys would want to hear about it, so that's kind of how Mama became my Subbie Supper. So thank you, Mama, for sharing this recipe with me. This is an air fryer chicken sandwich, but it's not just any typical chicken sandwich. It's very reminiscent of a Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich. It has been in the refrigerator overnight. So I'm gonna take you back in time and show you me putting it in this brine to let it sit overnight. We're actually having this for lunch today. Cole will be here for lunch, so he gets to enjoy one as well. Let's do it. So last night before I went to bed, I put our chicken in a brine. So I cut 2 large chicken breasts in half just so that they would be a lot thinner. And I got 1 cup of buttermilk and 1 cup of pickle juice and whisked that together and just put our chicken directly in there, covered it, and put it in the fridge overnight. You don't have to do it overnight, but as long as it is in the brine for 6 hours or more, you're good. Okay, I need 1/2 cup of flour to dredge our chicken in. I'm actually gonna add a little more than that just because I'm doing 4 chicken breasts. I'm gonna add 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/2 teaspoon of paprika, and it calls for 1/8 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. I'm just gonna kind of eyeball this. We like things a little bit spicier anyway. Lastly, I'm gonna add in a little bit of salt. The recipe calls for 1 egg slightly beaten. I'm gonna go ahead and do 2 since we're doing 4 chicken breasts. Okay, so this recipe says that you wanna use parchment liner for your air fryer. If you have that, great. I don't. So I'm gonna create my own. I'm gonna use parchment paper. I'm going to cut it to fit this, and then I'm gonna poke holes in it. That definitely smells very pickly. So working with 1 at a time, I'm gonna take it out of the brine and put it directly into our flour mixture. Shake off the excess. Coat it in egg and back in our flour. Now it's going in here on top of the parchment paper. And the last step is to take a little bit of olive oil spray and spray the top. Okay, we have room for 1 more in there. This is gonna air fry at 380. Well, we'll do 375. For about 15 to 18 minutes, you're gonna flip it about halfway through. Okay, while our chicken is in the air fryer, I'm just gonna make a little bit of sriracha mayo. I'm gonna do about 4 tablespoons of this and about 1 tablespoon of sriracha. And we're just gonna put that in here and mix that around so that we can put that on our sandwiches. Okay, I'm gonna flip them. It did not go as planned. I had problems with my parchment paper, so I just took it out. Just never mind, it'll be fine. Let's put these back in and press start. Okay, here's our first batch, and just as I suspected, it's not as pretty as I was kind of hoping, but that's okay. I'm gonna crank the heat up a little bit this time. They only cooked for right at 15 minutes. The internal temperature is 165, so we're good to go.
Very interesting chicken sandwich. Looks really good.
This is from Mama. And it's Daddy approved, so.
So it's gotta be good. Wow. Man. First of all, that chicken is so tender.
That's what Mom said.
I mean, like,
super tender.
that is a really tender chicken, which is what you want when you're eating it in a sandwich.
Yeah.
Really, really tender. I'm starting to get a little bit of the spice now.
Yeah.
From the, I guess the sauce, the spicy mayo and the seasonings there. But the pickle flavor.
Yeah.
Definitely get the pickle flavor in there.
That's awesome.
That is really cool.
So apparently the longer you sit it in the brine, the more it tastes like pickle. And we did it overnight, so. So I should make these again?
That is really, really good tasting chicken sandwich. Very good.
Okay, so I just remembered I needed to come back on here and tell you what I thought of the chicken sandwich. There is a little bit of spice to it. I think it's mainly because of the sriracha mayo, but it is so super tender and so good. In some cases, you go to a fast food restaurant and get a chicken sandwich and it tastes greasy almost because it's been, you know, actually fried. This has a very light flavor. I love it. It's so, so good. Thank you, Mama. We had some amazing food this week. We really enjoyed it and we hope that you did too. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up and let me know in the comments below which one you plan on trying first. If you haven't already, I would love for you to join our YouTube family. Hit that red subscribe button before you go. It's totally free to do so. And I will see y'all next time. Bye, y'all. I told him to go on with his crunch. Go on with your crunch. Taco Tuesday legend, turn around, let me see. This right. That little beep.
You did. You heard the beep.
All together, throw it in a casserole dish and put it in the oven. It's still thundering. Can you hear that? Did you hear that?
Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew. Name that movie.
Oh yeah, boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
Name that movie.
I only know that movie because Stephen and Cole quote it all the time.
Yeah. And for those of you who got the movie correct,
way to go.
Well, yeah, way to go, but you know, we just know that you're part of the kingdom of the nerds.
Okay, so I've got my jalapeno that I diced and I've got my black beans. Both of these are gonna go in the freezer and both of these would be great to add to a chili. Grace, she was climbing up my leg.
Gracie.
It's not cheese, little girl. Do it again.
What do you want me to do?
Do it. Look at the skill. Wow. Clap, clap.
I will not quit my day job.